I understood the content, but I didn't understand like how you need to word your answers to get full marks. Like I didn't know how much like you need to write for every question. Even if you like know the whole entire content, if you don't know how to like apply it to questions, then it's like quite useless. You went through so many types of questions and ways to like connect things together. So it felt like natural. Whenever you see same questions, then you'll know at the back of your head what to write. I felt like way more confident. Bio was less daunting. You provide us with lots of resources, so you never feel like you lack. I feel like you never like need anything else. You also like take care of our mental health. You always like mentally support us, so it's really like, you know, comforting. You're like probably the only teacher that sends mail to the students. Like I've never seen that before I came here. I think those are really encouraging, especially for a student going through like national exams. It's like really important to have a teacher's validation sometimes. You make the lessons seem very exciting with all the polls and questions and games, and you ask questions so that you'll be able to think. You're always on your toes during the lesson. I don't feel like I'm in like HBR. You don't like expose anyone. If they get it wrong, you'll be saved from embarrassment. That's like one thing that's good about online, because physical you might have to like raise your hands to answer. Peter has never seen you before until like I told him that I wanted to go to your tuition, and then he was like, okay, how much? And then he paid, and then one day he came into my room while I was in class, and then he just saw I was writing so many things, and then he was like it's a good tuition. And then he saw my grade improve, so he was like, that's really good. You always like change things up. Like every exam period there will always be like the same topic lesson, but you never like repeat the same thing. I feel like you go through a lot of small things that can be overlooked by school teachers. You make sure we are able to answer questions that maybe the rest of Singapore cannot. I think that's a really good hack to like, you know, push our grades up in national exams. There's so many old teachers that can't teach well either. I guess I have like lots of proof to show that lessons with you are like very worth it. Like my drive is packed with all your past year papers, all your notes, like very honest. I don't have my own bio notes. I just like refer to yours. I recommend my brother. Like I don't think lots of schools have like good bio teachers, so it'll be like the safest to just be under you. And maybe like my juniors. Nothing that I would really want to change. But tuition was very unique. I don't want to change that. It was a really good experience. I came in like quite later in the year, but I still felt like the warmth of this tuition. I felt really involved, and like my every milestone was like celebrated with you. Strongly encourage them to not just read content and like really pay attention in class and like understand every application behind it. You wouldn't forget like right after an exam because you just memorized blindly. After I understood, I didn't really have to memorize anymore, just like keywords, read the OEQs. They're like stuff that teachers would not give like answers to you. They would just like explain it and be done with it. But I think your OEQs put answers perfectly, and I think that's what Cambridge markers are looking for. Read through the OEQs, like make sure your answers are just as perfect in exams. Consistency. You should like study for every exam, and then you can see your actual improvement and not be like, oh, I didn't really like, you know, put in that much effort for this exam, so it's like not your full potential, and then you end up worrying in the last few months before O-levels.